Hey YouTube, how you doing? This is John, also known as NEStalgiaholic. Thanks for tuning in. And today we're going to talk about the Nintendo Entertainment System. Wow, it's turning 25 years old on October 18th, 2010 this year. If that doesn't make you feel old, I really don't know what does, because I remember growing up, every kid on the block had one of these things. It was known as the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES, or some people like to call it the NES. And it is a great system, let me tell you. It's definitely a system you should have in your collection. It came out in 1985, October 18th, 1985 that is, and it was released initially only in New York. Now, Nintendo had balls because they decided to go back into the North American market. Keep in mind, 1983 was a video game crash, and there were a ton of really shit games out in the market. In fact, people's perception and taste in their mouths about video games were very bitter and sour, and Nintendo decided to name it the Nintendo Entertainment System. They wanted people to know that this wasn't just a video game system, this was a Nintendo Entertainment System. They have some really cool accessories. In fact, they initially packed it with Rob the Robot, and that was kind of a novel idea because they wanted people to know, hey, it's not just a video game system, it comes with all these accessories, all that good stuff. A lot of people didn't realize this though, that Nintendo was initially going to team up with Atari, and they were going to call it the Nintendo Advanced Video Game System. And Atari was really ready to sign the line and dotted lines, all that, but they found out that Nintendo had that gave ColecoVision, Atari's biggest competitor back in the day, permission to release Donkey Kong on the ColecoVision. And Atari was so pissed at that, they said, you know what, Nintendo, screw you. And Nintendo, well, look what happened. Look what happened to Atari, look what happened to Nintendo. Atari, huge mistake. I'm sure if they had a time machine, they could go do it all over again, they would do that. But this system, there's 62 million of these systems were sold. It's one of the best systems of all time. It really revolutionized the whole 2D platformer, side-scroller game that we see today. In fact, one of the reminders I got was that the Nintendo Power I got this month in the mail talks about the 25th anniversary. It talks about some of the best games for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And it came in packed in with this poster. And this poster is a very retro poster. It has, thank you Mario, but your princess at another castle. And on the back, it's got Super Mario World 1-1. It's a reproduction poster. Pretty cool how they did that. Definitely a lot of nostalgia for me, for sure. Now, I do want to ask you guys, I'm going to tell you my favorite games for the NES. I'm going to give you 5. It's really hard to narrow it down. There's over 700 games released for the NES. I'm going to tell you my top 5. I encourage you guys to do a response video, type in what your favorite games are. I'm also going to show you my favorite accessories for the Nintendo Entertainment System. There's a ton of them. But we're going to start with my top games I like. So some of my top games I like, again, there are a ton of them. I'm just going to name a few. I really liked Baseball Stars. This is an SNK title, one of the best sports games they have for the system. I really like Bases Loaded as well, but definitely check this game out. If you like baseball, this is the game for you. Sticking with the sports genre, I really like Punch Out. This is the Mike Tyson version. They also had Punch Out without Mike Tyson because he got in trouble with court, whatever. But really fun game. It's a port from the arcade. It's classic. I like it better than the arcade, to be honest with you. You have to play Zelda. This is the Legend of Zelda for the NES. It's a great RPG. I mean, what can be said about Zelda that hasn't been said already? Fantastic game. That's my number 3 favorite. I love Mario Brothers. This is the original Super Mario Brothers. This is a great game. It was a pack-in for a long time for the NES. I think if everyone who owns the NES most likely has this game already, but it really revolutionized the whole side-scroller platformer. It's awesome. Definitely check this out. My number 1 favorite game for the Nintendo Entertainment System is Super Mario Bros. 3. I love the movie The Wizard. The graphics for this are really top-notch for Nintendo. They really did a good job with this game. Fantastic. A must-have for Nintendo as well. Now, interesting enough, there are about 17 games launched for the Nintendo Entertainment System. One of the first ones was Excitebike. This is a great game. They all have this really cool artwork on the side as well. Now, in 1994, they released Warrior Woods, and this was the very last game they launched for the Nintendo. So it went from basically 1985 to 1984, about 9-year span, pretty good lifespan for a video game system. And it's the only game that they released for the Nintendo Entertainment System with actually a rating on it for adults. So this is pretty cool to see. I have this in complete in box, but it's a great game. It's kind of a puzzle game. Now I'm going to show you some of my favorite accessories for the Nintendo Entertainment System. There's a bunch. You get the Zapper Gun are great. The U4 has definitely made my list. Zapper Gun's great because it's probably the most reliable accessory you can get. But number 3 accessory I'm going to show you is the Power Glove. This thing is awesome. I mean, there's two different sizes. There's just a small version, they have a large version, which I own as well. And this was made to view on the Wizard. It doesn't play very well, but the fact that you could actually use a glove for it was really cool back in the day. My number 2 favorite accessory for the Nintendo is Rob the Robot. This thing was a pack-in. They also sold it separately, which is a pretty rare one to find if you find it just in the box. But there's only 2 games released, Gyromite and Stack Up. So it was pretty cool, kind of communicates with the system. I'll probably do a review on my Game Street 1 channel over this this guy here soon, so I'll have to pay attention for that. But a really cool accessory, definitely a really cool display piece to have in your game room as well. Now my number 1 accessory for the Nintendo Entertainment System has to be the Nintendo Miracle Piano. This is a teaching system. It came in with a game. It basically teaches you how to play a piano. And it is actually a legitimate working piano. It's really cool, pretty rare, pretty hard to find. This is my number 1 favorite accessory for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was also released for the Super Nintendo, Genesis, and PC for back in the day. Guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I encourage you guys to tell me your favorite games for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Share some of your memories growing up with the Nintendo Entertainment System. And please show me some of your favorite accessories. You can do a video response, comment below. I appreciate you subscribing, watching my channel. Have a great day. Take care.